Okay, so a couple days ago, I posed a question about the industry and about whether, you as just the average player, think it's better to do decently large cuts now in an attempt to save face and survive the whole recession, or if it's better to try to keep, building and try to keep that staff and try to keep all of that in the hopes that once we do get out of this, that we'll have something easier and better to build on. We've gotten a lot of responses. A decent majority of them have been kind of in the middle. There obviously have to be cuts. We grew for like 10 years without too many bounds, and that kind of a thing doesn't happen in good business. In a good, healthy business doesn't normally grow just straight up for 10 years. But, everybody's having downtimes right now, and so I think a lot of this problem has to do with the fact that when we were doing really well as an industry, we didn't make fallbacks. We didn't start thinking, how are we going to stay sustainable once the money stops coming in? Because who wants to think of when the money's going to stop coming in while you're just getting it thrown at you, Well, you can afford to do huge sponsorships for like D3 teams, because we all know that a lot of like the D2 and D3 teams are what has kept this industry alive. I mean, if it wasn't for, lower ranked divisional teams, then how would we have money to fly the pros places? But in my personal opinion, I think that at this point we kind of just need to hold on. I think it's a little too late to do anything too drastic. I think that, in an instance like Smart Parts, it's extremely sad. And, I'm no economicist, but it does seem like there would have been warning signs. And I mean, you can't always do something about it, but, being vigilant and having the right people in the right place who can pay attention, and having people who are smarter than you in areas where they need to be, who can tell you, hey, listen, there's going to be a problem, so that you can start doing things ahead of time. But as I said, I think the problem started, 5 years ago when we were doing great. We didn't put any fail-safes in. We didn't think, oh, well, if something happens, there was no internal insurance policy against that. And so I think that's going to be hurting us a lot in the future. But we're going to survive this, obviously. And I think that we can learn a lot from this so that we can make our industry, more professional, more appropriate for players, so we can bring in new people, and so that we can continue to grow the base we already have. I think it would be great to find a reasonable way to get people to play, if they play once a month, get them to play every other weekend for, a month. Get them to play twice a month. It's not terribly difficult. And I think that would help a lot, because, once you start playing twice a month, you're going to want new gear. You're going to want to go from your pretty pink ion to something, more mid-grade. And I think that idea that we can keep pushing people further into the industry is what's going to keep us going, and is what's going to make us healthy. But that's my 2 cents. Sorry I was more properly attired this time, but I hope you guys were actually listening to this one. As always, I want to hear your opinions, so please fire back at me. Show all of this ridiculousness to your friends, because having friends is good, and proving to me that you have them by getting a bunch of views makes you cooler. Think about it. It works. Anyway, this is like 4 minutes, so you'll forgive me. The next topic will be coming up shortly. Hopefully we'll have more people sending in video responses, because that's fun to watch, and it's always good to hear your voices. Okay, well, I will talk to you soon.